Welcome to Canada, the podcast that helps you prepare for your Canadian adventure with clarity and confidence. Hello, future newcomers, and welcome to your Canadian Prep Zone. You're listening to episode number 2, and it is recorded in May 2025. I'm Emma Charlin, your host and your international mobility coach. I'm here to help you prepare, plan, and thrive in your move to Canada. Today, I'm going to talk to you about Canada. I will cover several points: its geography, its population, its linguistic diversity, its economy, the jobs in demand, as well as cost of living. Canada is the second largest country in the world after the Russian Federation. It covers an area of just under 10 million square kilometers. Canada has a long border with the United States. It is almost 9,000 kilometers long. It runs along the southern and western borders. It goes through 4 major lakes: Superior, Huron, Erie, and Ontario. These lakes are huge. It is hard to believe they are not oceans. Speaking of oceans, Canada is bordered by the Pacific Ocean to the west, the Atlantic Ocean to the east, and the Arctic Ocean to the north. There are 10 provinces and 3 territories in Canada. From west to east, the provinces are British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, and Newfoundland and Labrador. In the north of the country, and again from west to east, you find the 3 territories: Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut. In the far west is British Columbia. Together with Alberta, it is home to the Canadian Rockies, a breathtaking mountain range that is a delight for nature lovers. The prairies are Canada's breadbasket. They also have significant natural resources, such as oil and gas. The region consists of 3 provinces: Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. The central region is made up of Quebec and Ontario. Geographically, these 2 provinces are not in the center of the country, rather in the east. However, they are still referred to as the central provinces. Quebec and Ontario are Canada's 2 most populous provinces. They are home to more than half of Canada's population. Together, they form the economic heart of the country. The Atlantic region includes New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, and Newfoundland and Labrador. It is a land steeped in history, having seen the arrival of the first settlers and the departure of the great cruisers bound for Europe during the Second World War. Finally, the northern region consists of Yukon, the Northwest Territories, and Nunavut. It is the least populated of all the regions, but the landscapes are awesome. It covers the whole of northern Canada up to the Arctic Circle. Canada's capital is Ottawa, on the border of Ontario and Quebec. Canada has approximately 41.6 million inhabitants. It has a low population density, but its population is really diverse. It is a rainbow nation with over 200 ethnic groups. First Nations, of course, the descendants of European settlers, but also Asians and South Americans. In Canada, plurality is a reality. Over 20% of the Canadian population is born abroad, and in the major urban centers, almost 45% are first-generation immigrants. In Toronto, almost every second person is an immigrant. According to Statistics Canada, the immigrant population will reach 34% of Canada's total population by 2041. Until recently, most new immigrants came from Europe, but the proportion of immigrants from Asia and the Middle East has increased over the past 50 years. Now, the top 3 countries are India, the Philippines, and China. More than 450 mother tongues were recorded in the 2021 census. In total, almost 70% of recent immigrants do not have English or French as their first language. The most common languages spoken are Arabic, Tagalog, Mandarin, and Punjabi. If you're like me, you may not know where these different languages come from. Arabic is spoken mainly in the Middle East and North Africa. Tagalog is spoken in Southeast Asia, especially in the Philippines. Mandarin is used in China, Taiwan, and Singapore. Punjabi is spoken in India and Pakistan. However, almost 1 in 4 recent immigrants said that English was their first language. These immigrants are most likely coming from the United States or the United Kingdom, but also from India. And now, a quick word from our sponsor. Hey, but there is none. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm the sponsor of the show right now. Today's episode is brought to you by my one-on-one coaching services. Thinking about immigrating to Canada but feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or pulled in too many directions? You're not alone, and you don't have to do it alone. I offer customized one-on-one support to help you move forward with clarity and confidence. From creating your departure strategy to finding a job, planning your budget, or securing housing, we will tackle it all, step by step in a clear and structured way. Book a coaching session with me today and let's turn your Canadian dream into a real plan. For more details, click the link in the show notes. The Canadian economy is based on 3 main industries. The first one is natural resource extraction, including forestry, fishing, agriculture, mining, and energy, especially hydroelectricity and natural gas. The second one is manufacturing. Canada produces automobiles, paper, and appliances, as well as high-tech equipment, especially in the aerospace industry. The third one is the service sector. More than 75% of Canadians now work in this sector. The main services in Canada are education, healthcare, construction, financial services, communications, tourism, and retail trade. In March 2025, the unemployment rate in Canada was 6.7%. This compares with unemployment rates of 4.2% in the United States, 4.4% in the UK, 5.2% in China, 6.3% in Germany, 7.3% in France, and 7.9% in India. Canada offers many opportunities for foreign workers, particularly due to growing demand in several key sectors. The information and communications technology sector is booming, with a growing need for experts in cybersecurity, software development, and artificial intelligence. Canada's healthcare system is actively seeking qualified professionals such as nurses, doctors, and social workers to meet the needs of an aging population. The construction sector is also growing, with a notable demand for carpenters and heavy truck drivers. To facilitate the integration of foreign workers, Canada offers special immigration programs as well as programs for the recognition of foreign qualifications and skills. Now, a quick word about the cost of living. According to Numbeo, the estimated monthly cost for a family of 4 are 5,200 Canadian dollar excluding rent. The estimated monthly cost for a single person are 1,500 excluding rent. Cost of living in Canada is on average 6.5% lower than in the United States. In 2022, the poverty line for a family of 4, 2 adults and 2 children was around 49,000 Canadian dollars yearly. When adjusted for inflation, that amount increases to 53,000 Canadian dollars yearly. That's a net amount, which means that your gross salary needs to be higher than that in order to cover your regular living expenses, especially since we're talking about the tipping point into poverty. The breakdown by major budget category is as follows: 29% for food, 4% for clothing, 30% for housing, 10% for transportation, and 27% for everything else. In my book, Cost of Moving to Canada, The Ultimate Guide, I provide all the key figures you need in order to plan your budget. It will be released soon or will be out by the time you hear this episode. Let me give you 3 takeaways from this episode. First takeaway. Canada is a huge country with a strong economy. You have probably heard of Quebec and Ontario, British Columbia and Alberta, but there are many other provinces and territories. They are just waiting to be discovered. Second takeaway, Canada's population is very diverse, so you won't be the only immigrant. You will meet many people who have immigrated or whose parents have immigrated. Most of these people will be able to understand what you are going through and will encourage you. Third takeaway, many immigrants do not speak French or English very well. We are all here to learn and improve, so this is not the time to have an inferiority complex. You can find the notes for this episode in the Learn section of my website, bienvenueaucanada.ca. This will allow you to review the key points of the episode. Before we go, a side note, the data I have mentioned may no longer be valid by the time you listen to this podcast. For more details or updated data, check out the Statistics Canada website. And that's it for today. Thank you for listening until the end. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe to the podcast, give it many stars, and leave a comment. It will make me happy, but more than that, it'll help new people discover the podcast.